Okay, I can never tell if we're actually live or not. It says we are. Let me also hit my record button. There we go. So welcome to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self-Care Challenge. My name is Robin Knott. I'm your host of the channel and the founder of the energyhealingschool.com. I've not been used to streaming live with Zoom, so my apologies. Anyways, so thank you for showing up to journal with me, whether you are on here live or on the replay. I'm going to walk you through my journaling steps, how I do it. Do it however it's best for you. Some people don't know where to start, right? It's like, So I'll start you off with the journal prompt. I'll walk you through that process. I will share some real life experiences, meaning I journal before I come on. I journal during the day. So depending on what platform you're on, you may see the journal prompts that I share to kind of give you some time to work through it. If you're on a platform where you're just seeing the video, that's okay. You can pause, you can come back, you can do it after. It's fine, right? Don't forget, you can always check the description box too and hit that link to schedule on the live and come on here and do it live with me, right? So the journal prompt for today, what do you say to yourself when you please others? Excuse me. So remember, we write down the journal prompt and we ask ourselves a question and actually wait for us to respond. So that might sound weird if you're not used to doing that. Same concept as when we ask someone else a question and then we just listen and give them a chance to respond. Our brains will pop out some information, right? It may not always be organized. It may not always be direct. That's okay. Just let it filter through. It's kind of how it clears the fog, if you will, or gets to the focus, gets to the point of attention. It can take a minute. We avoid it oftentimes. So sometimes you got to go around the curves and the turns to get to it, but that's okay. So when I asked myself this question, a couple of things came up. Self-talk matters. We'll talk about that a little bit more as well. But more questions came up, and that's not unusual either. So even though you start with a journal prompt, which is a question, you can ask more. And that's, again, okay. Sift through it, whatever these words are. You can create our own. The one question that came in, do you have a mental debate? I was asking myself, do you have a mental debate before you people please? Or is it just automatic? I can remember a time where it was just automatic. Something occurs, boom, this is what I did. It's like autopilot, just on a hamster wheel, just repeating those patterns, repeating those cycles. Wasn't even aware of it. Right? There was a time I wasn't even aware of it. So there was no debate. There was just do. People please. Avoid the conflict, right? And then what do you say to yourself after? Well, again, that depends. Sometimes, so do you justify your actions or do you praise yourself for pleasing others? And then do you beat yourself up for giving in again? Air quotes again. So further, it depends on the situation, right? So if you maintain your boundaries in pleasing others isn't the same as people pleasing. Let me add some confusion to it. Just because someone is pleased by an action that we take doesn't necessarily mean it fits the description or the idea, the concept of people pleasing, right? It is slightly different. But again, just be open in your journal, whatever's coming through, however it helps you expand your perspective and be able to see the difference, because the ego can flip it all around too and say, well, of course you should please others. What kind of a terrible human being would you be if you didn't, right? It can be tricky. But the idea is that as we, quote unquote, please others, we're not denying ourselves in the process, that we're not squashing our boundaries or lacking boundaries altogether in that process. The whole focus isn't away from us to please someone else. That's when it becomes not good for us, right? Or them, to be fair. Because in our own people pleasing, if we're trying to do everything for everybody, then what do they get to do? What does their life experience get to be? Right? It's kind of like we're butting and taking it over with good intentions, maybe, but still, it's not ours to take, right? Let me check my journal again here. What else? It's when we deny ourselves self-care, self-love, our needs being met, doing something way out there that's maybe against our values, or we're just drained and need a break, but we don't say no and take care of ourselves. Then again, it turns into that resentment, right? We start to feel used, we feel drained. That's when I would scold myself, beat myself up. And so then it's not blame, shame, and guilt, though. I have done the blame, shame, and guilt, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm going to use my phone, by the way, and just because I'm on Zoom again and cannot see comments, so I don't want to miss you if you're on here. So forgive me. I didn't do that right away. Where are we? Here we are. I know there's a little bit of a delay as well. Okay, I think we're good. Fantastic. Okay. So there was blame, shame, and guilt in the past. The idea is not to continue the blame, shame, and guilt, right? As we're becoming more aware, so we increase our awareness, we assess our energy, and we align with the source of unconditional love. Remember, the source of unconditional love is not about blame, shame, and guilt. You say it again slower. The source of unconditional love is not about blame, shame, or guilt. It is about loving yourself as much as you love others. It is about taking care of you as you help others. So there's no need for blame, shame, or guilt. It's just the awareness to make a change, right? As we're assessing our energy and we're like, oh man, I did it again, or here we are, and I'm feeling drained or resentful or whatever it may be. Now I can shift. Now I can include myself again. Now I can check my boundaries, right? Now I can make sure I'm taking care of me too. There's also times when you get drained, you may find that you start to get defensive and maybe kind of snappy. Do you guys do that? I've done it. Get a little bit snappy in that defense. Or make excuses to please others as we deny self-care. I had to help. I had to. What would happen if I didn't? Right? And we think the worst. We just make assumptions because we don't really know. We didn't give it an opportunity to find out. So the cycle of self-talk, and I do want to talk about that because today is Throat Chakra Energy, right? So I was looking at an article today just to add to our discussion a little bit. And this one is from Healthline. What are the benefits of self-talk? So just a little tidbit about it, whether you realize it or not, right? We all talk to ourselves. Some don't want to admit it because people have put such a negative connotation on it, but we all think, our minds think all the time, and we do talk to ourselves whether we're aware of it or not. So understanding self-talk, Healthline article. Take a minute and think about what you've said to yourself today. Was it critical or was it kind and helpful? How did you feel after you engaged in this inner discussion? Your thoughts are the source of your emotions and mood. So let's say that again, your thoughts are the source of your emotions and mood. So when you think about the chakras, right? Mondays, we talk about ourself, our awareness, our beliefs, and the root chakra. The beliefs initiate our thought processes, right? It's the root of our experience. It's where our perspective begins. That energy moves to the sacral chakra, which governs our emotions. So whatever we're thinking about, whatever our beliefs are in the root chakra, initiates those emotions in the sacral chakra. Then we internalize a lot of those when we create and repeat certain patterns. We internalize it and see it as ourself, right? We identify it. It becomes our self-image. And that's governed by the solar plexus chakra. So in the self-care challenge, for Wednesdays with the solar plexus chakra, we talk about love, to meet ourselves with love and compassion to help ease our self-image, right? So that we're not just beating ourselves up, that critic all the time. And then the energy can rise up into the heart chakra, that space for transformation, allowing forgiveness to occur for self and others as needed, as necessary. And that determines then how we speak the truth, right? Our truth. Is it our human ego-ness truth that's still stuck in the old patterns, the old programs, the old ickiness, the negative self-talk? Or did we get to clear that out because we've met it with love and compassion, because now we're setting boundaries and we're protecting our energy and we're taking care of ourselves, and we can actually speak our highest truth. Important big stuff, right? So a little bit more on throat chakra, I want to add some symptoms. I want to share some symptoms of a throat unbalance. I'll say unbalanced because it could be blocked and or overactive energy in your throat chakra, but you might have thyroid problems, experience a stiff neck, stiff shoulders. When you think of like ears, nose, and throat, it's all governed by the throat chakra. Might even have nightmares. And when I think of the nightmares, it's that nightmares coming through because we've not expressed certain things, right? When you shove it back and you avoid it and you deny it and you hide it, or you just hold on to it, or it's just repeating, but it's not being released, it can come out in nightmares then. We may experience lack of concentration, again, lack of self-expression, difficulty communicating. Remember, we talk about assertive communication. Maybe our communication is a little more aggressive or passive instead when the energy is wonky in the throat chakra. And if you've taken my 7-day chakra healing challenge, you'll have that chakra healing, I want to call it a cheat sheet. That's what I used to call it, a handout, chakra healing handout, and the chakra chart. So that will be some quick tools for you to take a look at. Some of the things on that list, the healing hands to help manage and clear the energy in the throat chakra, wearing the color blue, right? Blue resonates with throat chakra. Solfeggio frequency, 741 hertz, resonates with the throat chakra. And elemental healing is space. So I think of like active listening and mindfulness and meditation. And some crystals, if you like crystals or stones. I like sodalite a lot. You can even use lapis lazuli. I can picture a light blue stone in my mind and cannot think of the name of it, so forgive me there. Let me know which ones you guys like to use. Tanzanite's a really nice one too, by the way. Have you ever used tanzanite? I used to get real bad anxiety when I'd go out in public, and then I wore tanzanite and I was so calm I almost wanted to sleep. It amazed me. I couldn't believe it. Awesome. All right, let me check my journal, see if there's anything left. I already went through the cycle of the chakras, so that is amazing. So if you haven't already, sign up and take the Empathic Healers Masterclass, a step-by-step guide to set boundaries and protect your energy. Super important. We go through our value system. I don't want to give it all away. You can, again, meet me on the live if you want to journal with me live. I intend to go, if anyone signs up, I'll definitely do it at 8 o'clock. If no one's going to sign up and do it live with me, give me grace on the time. Like tonight, I came on just a few minutes early. A couple times I've done it late. But thank you anyways for coming on live or replay. You can also participate in the comments section if you would like. Let me know how the journaling process is going for you. If you're aware of your communication styles, are you aware of your own self-talk? Are you gentle with yourself? Do you meet yourself with love and compassion, or do you have that inner critic that likes to rant and rave in there sometimes? Either way, take care of you. Be gentle with yourself. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time in the world it is for you.